Officer Dan here, back with some more thoughts. You just got your new drift car, which was one of the 5 that I mentioned in my last video. You're pumped on being stoked to hit your first drift event. What the hell do you do next? This is my take at having a good old time with your boys, the local track, for your first time. Alright, first of all, before you even go, these are the things you need to bring. Tires. May seem self-explanatory and stupid, but I've seen many a dude show up with his only set of tires, shred for like 20 minutes, pop a tire, and then have to get his car towed home. Sucks. Extra wheels with tires on them. You also never know if there's going to be a tire machine at the actual track itself. A jack. I've let my jack out so many times I probably can't even count. Top your car off. Drift cars like to shit themselves, so don't give them a chance to do that. Tools. Don't be the bro that has to borrow tools every single time you need to change a tire. Don't be that guy. Duct tape. Duh. Zip ties? Double duh. It's wise to bring a helmet for your passengers if you're going to be given ride-alongs. Not all tracks rent helmets, but all tracks require helmets to be on them. Illuminati confirmed. Bring water. Sometimes you get thirsty. Long pants and in some places long shirts. Friends. Bring as many people as you can. That's what keeps drift events going in the first place. Plus, you get a sick-ass cheering squad to watch you spin out. Lastly, that welded diff. Don't even go to a drift day if you don't have a welded diff or some sort of LSD or something to lock both of the tires, because your day is going to suck. Okay, now that you've got all of that stuff, pack all your stuff into the car and drive to the track. Show up on time. Now the first thing that you have to do at every single drift event, be that a practice or a competition, Formula D, all the way down to the lowest grassroots events, pass tech. Over the last 10 years, I have seen some shit when teching cars, so make your local event organizers' lives and your own a little bit easier and follow these steps. The don'ts. Show up with 6 total lug nuts, a half-functioning automatic seatbelt, or just a lap belt, a casually resting battery with nothing holding it down but gravity, 5 different leaking fluids at the same time, a straight piped NA RX-7, a bicycle helmet, a car full of shit that you didn't take out before you went to tech. No doors, no windshield, wires hanging everywhere all willy-nilly, your ECU loosely dangling on the floorboard, just asking for your car to break down on track. And never, ever, ever ask for a refund if your car didn't pass tech. That is 100% your fault if you don't pass tech at these events. Always reach out to the event organizer and ask any questions if you can't figure it out. There are tons and tons of tech rules. If it all fails and you can't find anything, just get to SCCA and look at their rule book for tech, and usually that will get you through. The do's. Mentioning the above, do read the local rule book for your series. They all differ just a little bit, so make sure you're doing the right things. And also remember that competitions will usually have more serious tech than just open track days. Make your car adhere to the above before you get there, because doing it during tech is a waste of time for everybody. Unless it's an honest mistake, which does happen. Have your helmet in the car. I don't want to have to ask for it and see that it's a bicycle helmet later on. Buy a $12 fire extinguisher from Walmart and put it within reach of you as the driver. Just because you don't drift a Ferrari doesn't mean shit's gonna get lit. Have your car emptied out already when you bring it to get tech. If I have to move your stank ass laundry off of stuff that I need to tech, I'm gonna throat punch you. Show up to tech on time. Have places on your car to tow from, front and rear. As a new guy, you're probably gonna go off the track, and you're probably gonna get stuck, or you're probably gonna break. Those are just how it goes. So make it easier on the tow crew to get you back out and get the show moving again. So now that you've successfully passed your tech inspection via the list above, next up is gonna be the driver's meeting. Do not miss this, especially if this happens to be your first event. Driver's meetings usually occur within an hour or so of the start time, some exactly on the start time. Just make sure that you know when it's going to happen. For instance, I usually run mine about a half an hour to 45 minutes after the start time to make sure that everybody's gonna be there. But I'm not like other event organizers, and a lot of organizers won't let you run if you don't attend the driver's meeting. There's a lot of important things that the event organizer is going to go over in the driver's meeting. First of which is going to be safety and track safety. They're going to go over the track entrances and exits, course layout, rules for drivers, rules for passengers, skid pad rules, on-track etiquette, lead and follow lanes, run groups, what to do when you break down, or any other track-related safety issues. Did I mention safety? And most important, most organizers will give you a time for questions. If you're new, this is the time for you to speak up. Hey, I'm new, it's my first time. I don't know what's happening. We've all been there. Most drift dudes are always willing to give advice and love to hear themselves talk. Okay, so somehow you passed tech, you made it through the driver's meeting, you were on time, you paid attention, you asked questions, the track is now hot. Now, some tracks have a skid pad, some don't. If a track has a skid pad and it's your first time, highly recommend taking advantage of this. Ask one of the track organizers if you can borrow a cone and set it up to do donuts around it. What you're doing is doing donuts both ways around the cone. Your eventual goal is to be able to do 4 or 5 donuts with minimal steering inputs, using your foot to actually steer the car around as close as you can to the cone without making any changes. What you're learning is when you start to drift and you throw the wheel, you're learning the timing on when to catch it. So you're gonna toss, catch, and if you're at lock all the way, you're gonna spin out. Back it off a little bit. Just learn that timing when you're going to initiate around the cone. Do that both ways until you've got that dialed. Once you think you're the donut master, then set up 2 cones about 10 to 15 yards apart and practice figure eights. What you're learning here is going to be advanced throttle control techniques. So you're not going to want to be stabbing the throttle, wow, 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 trying to get the car to keep drifting. You don't want to do that. You want to be consistent with your throttle placement. You also want to focus on doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. You want to pick the same transition spot. You want to go around the cone in the same radius. You want to transition and do the exact same thing on the other side. What you're looking for here is to be smooth and learn your car's particularities. Every car has them. If your alignment's off a little bit, if you need to adjust tire pressure, etc., this is a great time to do that. You want to be able to do 4 or 5 perfect figure eights that look almost identical before you even think about going out onto the track. Why pay all this money just to hang out on the skid pad and learn this stupid stuff? Because you're not out on the street endangering lives. Now, if you struggle with any of these concepts or exercises, ask for pointers from the track guys or any of the other drivers that are there. Everybody wants to help you because we need more drivers as a sport, period. If you do get an advanced driver to ride with you or to drive your car, pay attention. You want to watch what his hands and his feet are doing, and hopefully he can be explaining these things as he's actually driving. Yeah, this is not a time for you to be whipping out the selfie stick with Billy Badass over there driving your car. Okay, so those were the do's of the skid pad. Let's get on to the don'ts of the skid pad. It's easy to get carried away and rip a nasty burnout and explode your tires to bits. Been there, we've all done it, it's fun, hands down. Don't do it. Somebody has to pick that shit up and it's usually not gonna be you. Whoever's doing it isn't gonna be very happy. Don't be a pad hog. We get it that your stock KA can go for 45 minutes without overheating or killing tires. There's usually a line of people waiting to get on the skid pad as well so they can practice. Unless, of course, you're the only one out there, then by all means, you do you. So just pay attention. Be courteous to others. Don't be dangerous or stupid. It's a skid pad. Nobody's gonna think you're awesome because you got close to the wall or fence or other human or the selfie stick sticking over the K-rail. It's just not gonna happen. There's other dudes ripping the track up that are getting a lot more glory than you are. The skid pad is a place to learn how to not suck before you go out onto the track itself. So use it for that. All right, so you think you've mastered the skid pad. You got donuts down, you got figure eights down, you passed tech like a wizard. You went through the driver's meeting, you had great questions, you know exactly what you need to do now that you're going onto the track. Okay, so you've mastered that shit. What next? I would say go into the grandstands or go into the parking lot or go watch the other guys drive the course before you actually get to. This way you know exactly how to get on and off, you know exactly where the clipping points are, you know exactly where the zones are, you know exactly the direction that you need to go, and you can pick and choose how you want to kind of make your plan of attack to drift the course. Now, when you're heading out onto the big boy track and it's your first time out, try to get another driver to ride with you, just so he can kind of show you the ropes. No big deal. Most guys will be happy to do it. You usually want to jump into the follow lane. Don't hop into the lead lane at your first time and have some guy thinking he's going to follow you, especially if you have a roll cage and you're able to do close tandem. Let the guy go ahead, and then you can take off after them. Here's the don'ts for being out on the actual racetrack itself. Jump into the wrong run group. You don't want to be out there with the caged guys and get yelled at and told to go back to the pits because you don't have a roll cage, or vice versa. Don't do standing burnouts anywhere on the track. I guarantee there's not a track owner out there that wants to have to repair his track because you did a 15-minute standing burnout after your spin. Don't get in the lead lane if you know you're struggling with the course. Don't put your hands, feet, or other objects out of the windows ever. You're not JDM type. Also, it's your responsibility to tell your passenger not to do those things. Don't ever stop on track mid-run to make a phone call. Don't go backwards on the track for any reason. You dropped your wallet, you dropped your wife. Don't do it. Don't ever get out of your car while the track is hot, period. If you brake or you get stuck, just raise your hand out of the window and a track official will call a tow truck to come get you out. The only reason you'll ever get out of your car is if it lights on fire or if the tow truck driver asks you to show them where your tow points are. And lastly, don't go 1110s out of the gate and wreck your shit. You'll spin, you'll crash, or you'll do a combo of both. I mean, it'll be spectacular for the crowd that's watching, but it'll suck for you. Do an autocross run your first time out. Nobody cares. Everybody's gonna think you're just doing a shakedown run. Wiggle it back and forth, warm up your tires, do whatever you need to do to not feel embarrassed. Get your bearings first. Now here's my advice on trying to attack the main course. Start from the end and work your way back. You spend the whole day entering like a shithead and not being able to hold the correct line all the way through, you're probably not gonna make it through the whole course. You're gonna look dumb and you're gonna be frustrated as hell. Courses usually slow down by the end and have easier turns. Master each turn starting with the last couple and then work your way back all the way to entry. You're gonna have a much better day and you'll pick up the course a lot faster. Once you get better, of course, you can just jump into it and do your thing. But if you're learning, that is the absolute best way to attack a new track. If you're struggling with any sections, of course, just ask. Ask the other drivers, ask the track workers, ask the event organizer. Hey, how do I get this turn? I can't hit this link. I can't hit that clipping point. That zone's too far. How do I get there? I can't maintain enough speed, etc., etc. Just ask these questions and they'll be happy to help you out. I know that was a lot to cover, but these are all real situations that I've seen in the last 10 years of doing this shit. And as an event organizer, and I'm assuming speaking for all the other event organizers across this great country, I want the new guys to stay. I want the new guys to get people involved. I want the new guys to bring more fans. I want the new guys to have fun drifting, because that is the point. All right, guys, I'll see you at the track. Officer Dan, out.